Hello and welcome to all my dear children. This is Shivani, your English teacher. Students, today I am going to re-explain you the sixth chapter from your main course book, An Education in Science, written by Stephen Hawking. So as you all know that Stephen Hawking was a great physicist and cosmologist. Stephen William Hawking was an English theoretical physicist, cosmologist, author, and director of research at the Centre of Theoretical Cosmology at the University of Cambridge. He was also the Lucasian Professor of Mathematics. Hawking achieved commercial success with several works of popular science in which he discusses his own theories and cosmology in general. His book, A Brief of History of Time, appeared on a British Sunday Times bestseller list for a record-breaking 237 weeks. This is an extract from Stephen Hawking's Black Holes and Baby Universes and Other Essays. Okay, so students, I really want to, if you have a knowledge about Stephen Hawking, that is a very good thing. And if you still do not know much about Stephen Hawking, I really want you to search Stephen Hawking on Google and get a good detail about him. And I also want you to write few things about Stephen Hawking. So let's start today's lesson. Whether we like it or not, the world we live in has changed a great deal in the last 100 years, and it is likely to change even more in the next 100 years. Some people would like to stop these changes and go back to what they see as a purer and simpler age. Very well said. So, this is very true that the world in which we live today has changed a lot in the last 100 years. And it's true, isn't it? The world was not the same before 100 years. आज से 100 साल पहले जैसे सब कुछ आज है वैसे क्या था? नहीं था. Okay, and it is also likely to change even more in the next 100 years. There will be complete change after 100 years. And some people would definitely like to stop these changes. Some people still want to go back before 100 years. Okay, and they still want to live in that era, in that century where they used to feel the life was simpler and purer. However, as history shows, the past was not that wonderful. Okay, and Stephen Hawking here says that what history shows us today, the past was not that wonderful as we are in today's life, isn't it? There were no so much facilities. Today we are in a very comfort zone. It was not so bad for the privileged minority. Privileged minority means, see here, a small section of population with all the benefits. Okay, even they had to do nothing more than medicine, and the childbirth was highly risky for women. Okay, but for the vast majority, vast means huge majority of the population, life was nasty. Nasty means awful, dirty, brutish. Brutish means inhuman and short. Okay, so Stephen Hawking says here that life was not too much wonderful before 100 years. It was quite good for the privileged minority. Privileged minority means, privileged minority for that era means like the people who were fortunate and rich, like kings and king, because they had a lot of things, they had all the facilities, so life was not too bad for them. But it was still difficult. It was, that time it was very difficult to have medicines, and childbirth for women was very risky. Nowadays we have so much facilities. Okay, we have doctors, we have medicines, we have every little things. So at that time childbirth was also very risky for women, and for the vast majority, means 100 years before, the time was quite good for the people who were privileged, minority, okay, rich. But for the large area of people, for the larger number of people, the life was very dirty and very inhuman. Anyway, even if one wanted to, one could not put the clock back to an earlier age.
So he says here that even if people want to, even if one want to go back to the early age, one cannot put the clock back, isn't it? We don't have the time machine. Do we have? No, we don't have the time machine. We can't go back to 100 years earlier. Okay? Knowledge and techniques cannot just be forgotten. Okay, so knowledge and techniques, two things are there which one cannot forget even if they want. What is technique? Technique is the method. Okay, a specific method of something is known as techniques. Nor one can prevent further advances in future, and nor we can stop the further developments in the future. One cannot stop inquiring minds from thinking about basic science, whether or not they are paid for it. Means we cannot stop a person, we cannot stop an inquiring mind from thinking about basic science, whether they are paid for it or they did not pay for it. Because it's not necessary that we are one must be scientist only to think about science. A normal people can also think about it, isn't it? I can also think about why the fan rotates like this, or why some particular machine works like this. I need not to be a scientist only to think about that. The only way to prevent further developments would be a global totalitarian state that suppressed anything new. Totalitarian state is known as based on a political system in which ordinary people have no power and completely controlled by the government. Okay, totalitarian means which is completely followed by the government. So the only way to prevent further development would be a global totalitarian state that suppressed anything new. So he says here that the only way to forbid the further developments, more developments, would be if everything would be governed by the government. Means if government will tell you, then only you will do the discoveries. And if government would will give you the instruction that you will not do any discovery or something, you will not do any discovery. But human initiative and ingenuity, initiative means to take first step about something, okay, and ingenuity means skill at inventing things. So where were we? Yes, but human initiative and ingenuity is such that even this would not succeed. Okay, so this is the nature of human, this is the human tendency, that even if government would say something like this, human mind cannot stop themselves from thinking. All it would do is slow down the rate of change. So all it would do is to slow down this process. If we accept that we cannot prevent science and technology from changing our world, okay, we can at least try to ensure that the changes they make are in the right direction. So if we suppose that if we even accept that science and technology cannot change the, if we want that science and technology should not change the world, at least we should be ensured, at least we should take care of that the changes that the scientists are making, the changes that the people are making in the world at the name of science and technology should be in the right direction. Okay, means whatever the changes science and technology is doing in our world, it should be in the right direction, it should be useful for our world, at least for our country. In a democratic society, this means that public needs to have a basic understanding of science. Okay, in a democratic society like us, this means that public must have a basic understanding of science. Because if you if you do not have that sense of science, if you do not have that understanding and knowledge of science, how would you make difference between the right direction and the wrong directions that people are making at the name of science and technology? So that it can make informed decision and not leave them in the hands of experts. So this means that people should have at least basic knowledge about science, so that they must not leave everything in the hands of expert. At the moment, the public has a rather ambivalent means divided, 50-50, okay, ambivalent attitude towards science. So now, right now, what is the situation? That the people has 50-50 opinion about science. Some people follow science, some people believe in science, some people still believe more in God, okay. So it's divided in our era. It has come to expect the steady means regular increase in the standard of living that new developments in the science and technology have brought to continue. Okay, means it has come to expect that science and technology is making changes. Science and technology is continuously making changes in our life, and also science and technology is continuously increasing the standard of living, isn't it? Earlier we used to sleep under a fan. Now people sleep in front of the AC. So it's all about the changes that science and technology making in our daily life. But it also distrusts science because it does not understand it. Distrust means no faith, but also people somehow people still have that distrust in the science because they did not understand it. They do not understand about it anything. This distrust is shown in the cartoon character of the mad scientist working in his laboratory to produce a Frankenstein. Okay, Frankenstein is look here, a monster that destroyed its creator. Okay, but Frankenstein is also a novel, okay, written by Mary Shelley, and later on a series was there, and horror series was there, Frankenstein. Okay, so he say Stephen Hawking says further that that distress, that no faith is shown in the cartoon character of a mad scientist, okay, who was working in his laboratory only to produce a Frankenstein. But the public also has a great interest in science, particularly astronomy, okay. But also, where on one hand people distrust science, on another hand they have a great interest in the science, especially in the astronomy, as it is shown in the large audiences for the television series such as Cosmos and for the science fiction. Okay, students, Cosmos is a basically, what does Cosmos means? Firstly, you have to understand that Cosmos means everything that exists anywhere. Okay, and Cosmos is also a series whose first season was first season came into 2014. Okay, so Cosmos is also a series, television series. Okay, so people still have a great interest in science, and that we can see that a large number of audience for the television series like Cosmos and science fiction, means still there is a large number of people who watch Cosmos and science fiction. What does this tell you about people in general? So this question I am leaving for you. Well, if I have to give answer for this question, my answer would be that people still have the 50-50 opinion about science. What can be done to harness this interest and give the public the scientific background it needs to make informed decision on subject like acid rain, the greenhouse effect, nuclear weapon, and genetic engineering? Okay, so what can be done to make use of this interest? Which interest that the people have, okay, and give the public, means what can we do to give to use this interest of the general public and give the people information, give the people scientific information that they should be known, like the general subjects like acid rain, the greenhouse effect, the nuclear weapon, the genetic engineering. So these are the topics that everybody must know something about it. How can we use this interest to give them information about such important topics? Clearly, the basis must lie in what is taught in school? Expected answer. Clearly, the basis must lie in whatever is taught in the schools. Means the best way to give them every knowledge is the school. But in schools, science is often presented in a dry and interesting manner. This is also very true. But in schools, science is only presented in a very dry and uninteresting and boring manner. Okay. Children learn it by rote. Rote क्या होता है? Rote means to memorize, जिसे हम लोग रट्टा मारना कहते हैं, memorize करना. Children learn it by rote to pass examination and they do not see it relevance. Relevance means in relation to the world around them. Okay, which is very true. You also, I am sure you must also feel this, that science is a very interesting subject. In science, whatever we teach students in science, it should be relevant to the world around us. But in schools, we only teach students to pass the examination. Students do not understand anything, they just memorize everything. Okay, and they do not see the relation of whatever they are learning to the real world. उन्हें यही नहीं पता कि हम जो सीख रहे हैं वो रियल वर्ल्ड से रिलेशन कैसे रखता है. Moreover, science is often taught in terms of the equation. Equation means mathematical statements. Okay, so moreover, science is often taught in terms of equation. I am very sure that you must face this problem also, that science is generally taught in the terms of equations. Although equations are concise and accurate. Concise means expresses in the few words, and accurate means exact way of describing mathematical ideas. Means equations are anyway better to understand, but they frighten most people. Why? Because equations look very fearful, so most of the people get frightened with the equation. When I wrote a popular book recently, now he is telling us about an incident that when he wrote a book, I was advised that each equation that I included would halve the sale. Oh my god, when he had written one book, he was advised by somebody that each equation that he included would halve the sale. I included one equation, Einstein's famous equation E is equals to mc square. Maybe I would have sold twice as many copies without it. And he said that he included only one equation in his book. It was E is equals to mc square, and it would, and later on he felt that it would have much better if he did not include that equation in his book. And that equation was E is equals to mc square, written by Einstein, where E is energy, m is mass, and c is the light speed in square. Okay. Scientists and engineers tends means have a tendency, have a habit to express their ideas in the forms of equation, because they need to know the precise means exact values of the quantities. Okay, so scientists and engineers, they have a habit to mostly express their ideas in the forms of equation. Why? Because they need to know the exact values of the quantity. They cannot write such long paragraphs like us, so they usually use equations for short and exact values. But for the rest of us, a qualitative grasp means hold on of scientific concept is sufficient. Means for rest of us who are not engineers and scientists, good hold on scientific concept is better for us, and this can be conveyed by words and diagrams without the use of equation. And we people can understand in a better way by diagram and without use of equations. We can easily understand by words and diagrams. We need not to understand by equation. Science people learn in this school can provide the basic framework. Okay, so the science that people learn in a school can provide the basic that is the basic framework of their knowledge, but it should be not by the rote method. They should not memorize everything. But the rate of scientific progress is now so rapid that there are always new developments that have occurred since one was at school or university. Time has changed a lot, and now scientific progress is so fast that every single day there is some new kind of development, and every day we can see the change in the world. I never learned about molecular biology or transistors at school, but genetic engineering and computers are two of the developments most likely to change the way we live. So he says that when he was in school, he never learned about molecular biology and transistors. So basically, he wants to convey this message to everyone here that whatever we read in school, whatever we learn in school, it should be like basic framework. It should not be only limited to the examination and getting marks. Okay, it should be about knowledge. Developments most likely to change the way we live in the future. Popular books and magazine articles about science can help to put across the new developments, but the even most successful popular book is read by only a small proportion of the population. So he says there, he says here that giving knowledge by magazines and books and articles about science can be very helpful for the new developments. By this we can give knowledge to more and more people. But also it's very true that most famous books, even the most popular books, is read by only a very small number of people, because everybody is not so much habitual of reading the books. And even the people read the book, they do not read about science. They generally, people read about entertainment, something that entertains them. Only television can reach a truly mass audience. There are some very good science programs on televisions, but other present scientific wonders simply as magic without explaining them or showing how they fit into the framework of the scientific idea. Okay, so he says here that television can be a very good idea to give knowledge about science. Television truly reach a good number of audience, but then there are so many good science programs on televisions. But when you see, on the other hand, some scientific programs are simply, they present it like a magic, like a miracle, without explaining anything. They just entertain people, they just gain TRP, they just gain TRP, and they just entertain the audience, which is not the right thing to do, I guess. Producers of the television science program should realize that they have a responsibility to educate the people, not just entertain it, isn't it? The producers who are producing these shows, they have a big responsibility. They need to understand that they need to educate people by the help of their programs. They are not there just to entertain the common people. What are the science related issues that the public will have to make decisions on in near future? So what are the science related problems that we people need to have understand in future? By far the most urgent is that of nuclear weapon, and I'm very sure that it will not be wrong if I say 90% of people have no idea or no knowledge about nuclear weapon. So by far, according to Stephen Hawking, nuclear weapon is a topic about which everybody must know. Other global problems such as food supply or the greenhouse effect are relatively slow acting, but a nuclear war could mean the end of all human life on earth within days. So according to him, he is saying here that other problems like food supply, how the food supplies, or greenhouse, what is the greenhouse effect, and we have also heard about global warming. Okay, all these are the important things, but they are slow acting thing. What is the most important thing? That is, we should know about nuclear weapon. Because a nuclear war can end the human life within few days. Whole world, globe. The relaxation of east-west tension brought about by the ending of this Cold War has meant that the fear of nuclear war has receded from the public mind. So here east-west tension is we are talking about the the hostility, the agreement that Russia and America did. Okay, there was the hostility made between these two countries after World War. The relaxation of east-west tension means whatever happened between Russia and America, it somehow was the ending of Cold War, and because of this topic, nuclear war topic, okay, and nuclear weapon topic has somehow gradually gone from the public's mind, but it's not a right thing. But the danger is still there as long as there are enough weapons to kill the entire population of the world many times over. Okay, just because that there is no east-west tension, just because there is no war between Russia and America, that doesn't mean that people should forget about nuclear war and nuclear weapon. The danger is still there because they still have a lot of weapons. They still have the enough weapon to kill the entire population of the world. Means there are still nuclear weapon which can end the human life. In former Soviet state, here former Soviet state means Russia, okay, and in America, nuclear weapon is still poised to strike all the major cities in the northern hemisphere. Means America and Russia, these countries still have so much nuclear weapon. They have they still have the enough nuclear weapon that they are anyway ready, they are any day ready to strike all the major cities on the northern hemisphere. They actually have so much weapon that they can end the whole human life. But here it is only written northern hemisphere. Fair enough. It would only take a computer error or the mutiny. Mutiny means, when some worker refuses to work according to you. Some worker disobeys, okay, and they take the whole charge in their hand. By some of those meaning the weapon to trigger a global war. And only this nuclear war can be avoided if some worker refuse to obey the instruction of the senior and they operate the weapon according to themselves. It is even more worrying that even minor powers are now acquiring nuclear weapon. Wait a minute. Yes, here we are. Okay, let me read the last paragraph again for you. It is even more worrying that even minor powers are now acquiring nuclear weapon. So now even now the tension has increased because even the minor countries have some big powers which is very unsafe for the humans. The major power have behaved in the reasonably possible way so far, but one cannot have such confidence in the minor powers like Libya or Iraq, Pakistan, or even Azerbaijan. Okay. So what he's saying here, Stephen Hawking, that we can trust America, Russia, okay, because they are responsible, because they have this power from a very long time and they had never used, even in the World War, they had not used these nuclear power and nuclear weapon and these kind of weapons. But we cannot have this confidence in the minor countries like Iran, Pakistan. They are not that much responsible and sensible. If they would get such powers, they would definitely use, and it will be very dangerous for everyone. The danger is not so much in the actual nuclear weapons that such powers may soon possess, but would be fairly rudimentary through they could still kill millions of people. Okay, even if they even if these countries won't have the big powers like nuclear weapon, even if they have small minor powers, then also it will be quite risky for normal people, because we cannot trust these countries. or on their sensibility. Rather, the danger is that a nuclear war between two minor powers could draw in the major powers with their enormous arsenal. Okay, now what he's saying, that if the small country, if the minor powers will have their war, okay, suppose that Pakistan used its power, then the other country will also use its power. So it will be very horrible situation, because if minor powers will use their power, then also major countries will use their power. It is very important that the public realize the danger and put the pressure on all government to agree to large arms cut. So it is very important for the public to have knowledge about nuclear power, okay, to have knowledge about nuclear danger and realize, and it's the duty of normal people, it's the duty of public that they pressure government to cut the supplies of these arms. Okay, ये जितने भी बड़े बड़े हथियार हैं, इनकी जो सप्लाई है, इस पे क्या करना पड़ेगा, रोक लगाना पड़ेगा. It probably is not particular to remove nuclear weapon entirely, but we can lessen the danger by reducing the numbers of weapon. So it's not possible to remove nuclear weapon entirely. We cannot, it's actually on the ground base, it's not possible to remove nuclear weapons completely, but at least we can lessen the danger by reducing the number of weapon. If we manage to avoid a nuclear war, there are still other dangers that could destroy us all. Okay, even if we avoid nuclear war, still there are other dangers that can destroy everyone. There is a sick joke that the reason we have not been contracted by an alien civilization is that civilizations tend to destroy themselves when they reach our state. Okay, so he's talking here about a silly joke that people have made, that why we have not been in contact with the alien, because what happened? Yes, when alien will come to us, they will destroy themselves. Okay, but I have enough faith and good sense of the public to believe that we might prove this wrong. But he believes that this joke, people will prove it wrong. Okay, means what does this joke means? This joke means that we people are so dangerous that even alien will come to us, he will destroy himself. You know, rather than contacting with us, aliens would like to die. Okay, but he believes that we people will prove it wrong, that we people are not so bad and not so foolish. So students, we are done with this chapter. Okay, still if you have any sort of confusion, please go and ask me in the comment section. So we will meet up